Another thing, in this video I want to talk about healthy boundaries. I have been mentioning healthy boundaries non-stop everywhere, and you are gonna hear about them everywhere. And that's one of the things what was my biggest mistake in my life. And they're saying like, where are givers there will be always takers, but that's simply because we don't put healthy boundaries. I'm not saying that, like, my thing, I always have been helping people, always have been opened to everything, and I thought that's just the way it should be. We are in this world to help each other and things like that. But the biggest mistake starts like when you give, and nothing good comes out of that. And I don't mean like you have to give with expecting, like I said in a previous video, but healthy boundaries starts like, a clear example. When I was back in my country, in my workplace, I always loved to do my work, and I was doing work. And then one time, one colleague asked me to do something, and I said, yeah, fine, I will gonna do it. And but that was their job to do that. But they asked me, can I help them out? Simply, they said they have loads of work, and they asked me, can I do that? And I said, okay, I will gonna do that. So one time they put one thing on me. The next time, because I didn't say no, next time they came around and they said, can you please help me with this? And I was like, I had my work already stocking up a lot, but I was like, okay, I will gonna help you out because I'm such a helping person. I want to help everyone. And my biggest problem was I for ages, like for years and years, I couldn't say no. And at some point, the fact that it was hard for me to say no, it started to be as a burden to me. I started to feel heavy. I started to feel really low because I had so much to do, and I couldn't get everything done. And then at some point, when the same colleague came and again said, oh, can you please do this? I said, I'm sorry, I can't. I have loads of my own work. So if you can ask someone else, you can ask someone else, but I will not gonna do that anymore because I can't cope with my own work if I'm doing this as well. You should have seen the face. It was like standing shock in front of me, like with expression, how dare you to say no? You always were helping, and suddenly you are saying no. But I will tell you honestly, as shaky hands I had on that moment, because that was something what I never done before, and I was like literally shaking. Oh my god, I said no. Oh my god, what they will gonna think about me now? Ego talking. What they will gonna think? Why should I care what they will gonna think if it's their own job to do that? Why should I do that? Why should I step over myself and make myself nearly ill, because I got ill because of overworking back then? Why should I step over myself and do something what I am not even supposed to do? But not saying no, I was making myself a problem for myself. So everyone just started to notice, oh, she doesn't say no, she will gonna do that. So they were just like, okay, go ahead, do that. And in the end of the day, what happens? I'm getting ill because I can't cope with everything, and I'm getting ill just because I don't know how to say no. Enough is enough. So once I said one time no, that was easier afterwards to say, I'm sorry, I can't. Not in a rude way, just say that like in a polite way. No, I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Or you don't have to become stupid and start to say bad things or have a rant and saying, oh, that's your job, go and do your job. No, just say it nicely. No, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And the same is in every situation in relationships too. It's like so many people are just coming to you and they are saying, you have to do this, you have to do that, or like they are expecting from you something what you are not even ready to do. You just have to say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do that. If the person turns your back on you because of that, that means you don't need them. You don't need those people in your life. Obviously, they just need you for certain reasons. Simple as day. And it's like, you just, if even in relationships, if other person, I don't say that you have to put like, oh my god, like conditions after conditions, I will do this and you will gonna do that, and I'm not dealing with this and I'm not dealing with that. But I mean like in a healthy way. If one person is always doing one thing and you ask, can you please do that, and they say, no, I will not gonna do that, you always do that. Yeah, why you always do that? Obviously you didn't put the healthy boundary already from the start, and you didn't say them that it will not gonna be like that all the time. Giving and taking should be 50-50 in all the situationships, in every aspect of life. And it's really hard to learn that thing. It's really hard to put the healthy boundary, not like rude boundary or like things like that you become nasty, and just put the healthy boundaries. Same as like in a work environment. I think mostly in a work environment it's easier to notice where you are lacking your healthy boundaries, because you start to notice that people are taking advantage of your good work or things like that. So you start to stockpile your own work, and simple. In a work it's easy to recognize. In a relationships it's not that easy to recognize these things where you have to put those healthy boundaries. What would be healthy boundary problem in my life? I had mostly healthy boundary problem in relationships with friends, because there was again this moment, giving and taking. It's like somebody asked me, it's like you can probably notice in friendships when someone always expects you to be there for them, but you really, like, I am not the person who will gonna ask often for help. I ask for help only on the moment when I know that I really need that help. This is one other thing what you need to learn. It's nothing wrong to ask for help, because only strong person knows that they need help and they can ask for help. But because I used to deal with everything on my own, most of the time I'm just not asking for anyone's help. And I didn't ask for anyone's help simply because I got these people previously in my life who usually just let me down with help. But there is like moments when you know that you really need help, then you ask for help. And yeah, like I said, in my life there was like certain person who was always asking, like, yeah, well, can you look after my kids, I need to do this and that. And I was like, yeah, sure. Can you help me with taking them to the school or taking out of the school them? But whenever it came across when I really needed that, it was like a big eye opener on that moment. It seemed like I was like, how they said, there was someone said that I am a babysitter for free when I needed actually help. that person wasn't even around and let me down in a moment when actually it was like really, like I had no choice. Luckily, I had people in my life who helped me out. What I'm saying, there is always blessing in every situation. You can see who actually does help you, and I have people who helped me, and those who helped me were the people I expected. I even didn't expect they will gonna help me, but they did, and I'm really grateful for those people in my life. In relationships, I can say that most of the time healthy boundaries disappeared. Like, I think it's like really tricky to put a healthy boundary in a relationships with your partner if you don't talk about it straight away from the start. Because when people say, oh, why do you let him do this or that, like with my ex, when we split up and when he started to build another relationships, every time he got in an argument with her, he was rushing towards me, giving me this honey speech in my ears that he still loves me and everything else. And as a fool, I was just taking him back for a few days, and then he shoot off again to her. My unhealthy boundary back then was to put enough is enough. We split up. Go and live your life and do whatever you need to do, and I'm living my life. Don't rush every time back and forth. I was like with an open arms all the time. That was my unhealthy boundary. He didn't respect my boundaries because of that. He didn't respect me. He thinks he respects me, but he never respected me. And like, this is quite hard to accept in myself, that in relationships before, whatever happened, most of the time it was my problem that I didn't put the healthy boundaries straight away. And we always want to blame other people. We always want to blame other person for doing us wrong or things like that, but actually it's our lack of healthy boundaries in a situation. For everyone it will be different things. Even when you have, like when you share opinions with other half, healthy boundary will be when they start to become disrespectful towards you. You have to put this healthy boundary and you have to say stop. It will not gonna be this way. Like with my first ex, when he started to belittle me, and when I tried to say my opinion, he always said, no, you are childish, you don't understand life. I never said anything towards him. Whenever I was supposed to say, no, this is my opinion and you have to respect it, I was just like, I didn't argue just for the sake of peace. But that made me feeling like worse. I felt worse and worse with every single time he did that. And that's why it didn't work out as well in the end of the day. If someone wants to go and party non-stop and doesn't take care about your family, if you don't put this healthy boundary and say, look, if we are family, we have to do everything equally in everything. I can't just be the one who is like taking taking charge of everything what is like important, and you are just going and partying all the time. Either you put your work in here or we go separate ways. But it's really hard because we think we love that person and we wanna hope that it will gonna work out. But this is why healthy boundaries should be from the very beginning, so you can see if that other person actually is willing to work on everything. And that can show. I mean, like, I know we all have pink glasses or red like mine in here. But I mean, you know, pink glasses, we all have them at the start. We all have this honeymoon phase. And I think only with the first argument, that's when it starts to truth come out, how actually other person is. But this is why you have to sit down and talk as an adult. But if you have, both of you have certain issues what you haven't dealt on your own, then it can't work out if you are not willing to work together. And you have, the thing is, you have to know where are your healthy boundaries, what can you accept and what you can't accept. Because once you start to live with the things you can't accept, it's already not working, and it will gonna go wrong way, and it will be harder to deal with it already after a while. And the longer you live with this acceptance of something which you really don't want to accept, the harder it will be to resolve in the end of the day. And what else I can say about healthy boundaries? Healthy boundaries, I'm just keep repeating that word, but it's like I have this idea in my mind, but like I don't know how to explain. I even don't know then why I make this video, but I hope something made sense from what I said. The same thing is with so-called friends with benefits. What happens nowadays most of the time, it becomes more as a benefits without friendship, because whenever you want to be friends, the other person maybe is not even reachable. They don't want to talk, they are busy or something else. That's a red flag. You should put healthy boundary and say, or for example, the same thing, for example, with benefit part, is like when you notice that maybe this benefit part starts only when other person messages you or calls you and says, oh, you know, let's have fun and things like that, and you are like, yeah, all right, you don't mind because you really want that as well. But then when you want it and you call them and say, let's do that, they are always busy. Ding, 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 red flag. That means that they will gonna do only when they want, not when you want it to. And that's when you should put the healthy boundary. And I know, as much as we maybe like this nice activity with other person, and maybe they are great in it, and that's when it's really hard to tell them, you know what, either we do it like equally or we don't do it at all. So I had people like that, and when I said, maybe you can put some effort too, you should have heard what I should hear. It's like, oh my god, there we go, it starts. It's like a relationships. I'm sorry, it is some sort of situationship anyway. It can't be only on your terms. And if that person is not willing to accept the fact that you have your needs at certain times too, then what's the point in the end of the day? I know many will say, oh yeah, they have excuses, they have children, they have this, they have that. I'm sorry, when you started that, you knew all these circumstances. If they have children, you know when they can stay or then they can come over or things like that. And you knew that from the start. Both of you knew the situation, what is it. And if suddenly something starts to change, maybe better stop it and let it go. There is no point to stress yourself over things what you shouldn't stress over. I know it's hard, especially if we like something, especially if we enjoy something. It is hard. But then again, you have to say no to see if actually that person is willing to put some effort, even in such a small thing as friends with benefits. So in the end of the day, I hope you got something from this video. Oh my god, I think this video was so weird and so messed up, but I just wanted to talk about it, and in the end of the day, I don't think I got out anything decent. I'm really sorry about this weird video of mine. Well, anyway, enjoy your time, enjoy your day or night, whatever you are doing, and I will see you in the next video whenever it will gonna come out.